This is the Shoot at the Hip podcast, and for a few minutes, I want to talk about Triple H. Yeah, I know a lot of people have so much to say about Triple H. A lot of people don't want to give Triple H the credit. A lot of people say Triple H is overrated. The only way Triple H got what he got was because he married Stephanie McMahon. He married the boss's daughter. And it seems like nobody wants to give respect to Triple H. But this segment, I am about to give props to the man named Triple H. Now, let's backtrack this for a second. Before he was the Game, before he was the cerebral assassin, Triple H had a huge upside. I'm going to go back to WCW. WCW when he was terrorizing. Now, I know a lot of people may not know him when he was terrorizing. He was, wasn't as polished in the ring as he is today. But he had a lot of upside, and he had a lot of ability. He had a lot of athleticism, and he had a lot of promise. And then WCW put him with Steven Regal, which a lot of people know him as William Regal now. And he changed his name from terrorizing to John Paul Levesque. So when he was in WCW, I used to see him, when I was young, watching him on WCW Saturday night. He was doing his thing, man. And he could have stayed with WCW. WCW wanted Triple H to stay. But he wanted to go to WWF at the time, and he wanted to spread his wings. And of course, he became Hunter Hearst Helmsley, another good gimmick. We fail to remember that he was the Intercontinental Champion. He was a king of the ring. And all of this happened before he was married to Stephanie McMahon, before he was even in a relationship with Stephanie McMahon. He was close to Shawn Michaels, which tells me that Triple H would have been world champion eventually anyway. I mean, he took a lot of flack because of the whole curtain call situation with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, them going to WCW and Madison Square Garden, and Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, they did their curtain call, and a lot of people in the back got upset. So Shawn Michaels was the champion, and Triple H, he had to pay the debt. And he could have rolled his eyes. He could have left. He could have went to WCW, because I'm pretty sure Triple H could have went to WCW and possibly been one of the top guys there. But he paid his debt. I mean, he was in some terrible matches. I mean, he was in a hog pit match with Phineas Godwin. I mean, just stuff I feel like that would be beneath a guy with a promising main event career like Triple H. But Triple H, he grinned and bared it, man. And he got with D-Generation X, as we know, one of the greatest factions of all time. A lot of people say that it was Shawn Michaels and he was Shawn Michaels' flunky, but I beg to differ, man. I feel like Triple H made that group. I feel like he was the one that kind of stood out. Shawn Michaels, we all know that Shawn Michaels was charismatic and everything like that, but Triple H was the guy that really had something to gain from it. We all know that Shawn Michaels was, once again, charismatic. We know that he was the showstopper. We know that he had a big ego, but we didn't know that much about Triple H. So I feel like Triple H, through DX, he kind of, showed the world that he could be a main eventer and a superstar. But we all know about Shawn Michaels having a back injury, had to retire early, and Triple H took the ball and he ran with it. He got DX, and I feel like he made DX even more popular than it was with him and just Shawn Michaels. I mean, he had the Road Dogg, Badass Billy Gunn, X-Pac, Chyna. I mean, they were extremely popular, man. Merch was flying off the shelf, and Triple H really showed that he was a main eventer. Then fast forward, he decided that he didn't want to be in DX anymore. He wanted to spread his wings. He wanted to be a single superstar. We know Triple H during that time, he used to wrestle with tights on. He changed his look. He started wearing, just regular. He wasn't wearing tights anymore. He'll come out to the ring. He'll just come out the ring, change his entire look, bulked up a little bit, and he became the world champion. And this was before Stephanie McMahon. He was with Chyna at the time. And a lot of people don't give Triple H that type of credit, but I'm here to give Triple H the credit. Triple H is an incredible superstar. He always had been. And he always showed the world that he had something to offer. I mean, he was good on the mic. I mean, for the most of his career, he was a bad guy. He was probably one of the best heels in all of wrestling, from like 2002 to I say maybe like 2007. He probably was one of the biggest heels in the world, man. A lot of people just despised Triple H, man, at that time. I remember like Triple H, I mean, we all know about those Monday Night Raw, at the end of the show, those beatdowns he used to give to wrestlers where he just basically bust them open. And he just generated like so much hate, man. Like, and you got to give the guy credit, man, for a person to know that it is entertainment that they're watching, and for them to actually just generate a response out of people like, man, I really just despise this guy. I mean, I remember like one time when he was beating up on Daniel Bryan. I mean, this was pretty recent, man. This was during the time of WrestleMania 30. And I remember when he came out to the ring, man, he beat up Daniel Bryan, gave him a beat down. And I remember, man, I was really angry. I'm like, man, why are they doing this to him? Like, for a person to generate that kind of response out of somebody that knows that his entertainment really shows that he is good at what he does. And I'm tired of people talking about he just married the boss's daughter. That's why he's so successful. Triple H deserved everything that he got. Triple H paid his dues. We forget about how Triple H tore his quad and still finished the match. A lot of people, that have that injury can't even walk, say at least wrestle. And Triple H finished that match. I mean, he trained like hell. He came back, became, undisputed champion. I mean, Triple H really is a true testament to hard work, dedication. And I just feel like by him marrying Stephanie McMahon, a lot of people just look at that as I guess as an asterisk on his record, but I just feel like it has absolutely nothing to do with that. Triple H is one of the greatest of all time. Is he on my Mount Rushmore of wrestling? I really would have to think about that. I really would. But if he's not on there, I guarantee you we would have to chisel another rock to put him on there.